Let's see. We've got a question here from Run DMG. Lions was at the draft, got floor seats day 2 by taking someone from the NFL Network, Matt Berry. Best day ever. What are your best moments of the draft? Best moments of the draft was Lions trading up and getting Terrion Arnold. I absolutely lost it. You can actually see the reaction to Everything Kings video. We all lost it because we were talking about getting Terrion Arnold. All of us are like, we got to get this guy. And when we traded up, we knew we got Terrion Arnold. I absolutely lost it. What was your favorite moment, Kurt, and then Ant-Man?
Yeah, it's got to be the same. I mean, even you look at the reaction, the pan out reaction, the video that was on NFL Network and other websites, especially on X or Twitter. Yeah, I'm a Twitter guy. Is whatever, but the crowd just went the whole crowd went bananas out there at the draft when we traded up for Terrion Arnold. It was one of the best things because I was just like, we need a corner, man. We played around enough with it enough. You know, we've got these guys, third, fourth round cornerbacks in Detroit with Brad Holmes, and it was time to get a first round talent. So it was yeah, it was great. That was the moment for me. I was on the cruise ship. My son was asleep. I was watching my wife. I was watching it on my laptop, and I was like, "Yeah!" I try not to make too much noise, but that was my favorite moment of the draft. The Terrion Arnold pick.
Yeah, man.
Obviously that was a great moment, but you two have said it. So I think my other favorite moment was when the crowd vehemently booed every Green Bay Packers draft pick to the point I could barely hear the name that was getting mentioned for them. Like I felt sorry for the NFL woman on day 2 when she kept going like she's not done anything wrong whatsoever. But it was just a delight just to hear the reactions. Like the Detroit crowd was like, yeah, I loved it. Just they booed everything, the Bears picks, and I apologize for those insufferable Brits who came over on stage on our part. I'm like, oh, the Bears and the Packers ones, they were terrible.
Yeah.
I've said I'm going to go to Green Bay next year and announce a pick. I'm going to do it. I've announced my candidacy to do it because I'm going to go and talk so much trash about them on stage there that you will love it. It will live forever. So that's my goal this year.
Yeah,
go ahead.
The one fan that was, if you look at the first round pick of the Green Bay Packers, and the guy in the cheese head dropped his head, and the Lions guy was giving him the business.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was absolutely hilarious. That's probably my one B as far as my favorite moments because that was hilarious. They were like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
That was awesome, man. The Lions crowd out there was absolutely epic for the draft, man. Breaking all the records, chanting the Jared Goff. People was having a great time.
In fact, I've got to put a 1B there because obviously one of our guys announced a pick there as well. So Ryan announced Christian Mahogany. Yeah. So a big shout out to International Fan of the Year, Ryan Farden, who was a part of our podcast, who went out there, did a great job, and he got to call a really good pick as well. He got to call the Mahogany pick. So we love that from our point of view, us Brits representing.
That was epic. That was epic, and I can't wait for next year when you announce the 32nd pick in Green Bay, and you know the Detroit.
I've announced my candidacy. Yeah. I am serious about this. I am serious. I'm going to go for it because I just want to go out there, get booed like no one's ever been booed before, and just rub it in their faces. Like I will represent us well.
You could say so many things too, and it would be glorious.
Exactly.
Oh my God. JT's Mass says, how much better is Green Bay going to be on defense? I think they're just overhyping the draft because of how many picks they had. They had a ton of picks in this draft. Not everyone's going to make that team. I think the Green Bay is going to have a good defense. I don't know. I think they're overhyping a little bit, but all honesty, I thought the Green Bay got bad grades. I didn't think they have the greatest draft. In my opinion, I think we screwed them again by jumping up there and getting our guy, Terrion Arnold. Again, another trade-up scenario, which was glorious. What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah, that happened to them again. What up, there, Coach Mike, Wolverine Lions Sports Talk. You look at that, they got screwed twice because the Eagles went up and got Cooper DeJean. So we ain't got Terrion Arnold. Eagles went up and got Cooper DeJean. That's one of the guys they really wanted, I guess. They're kind of downplaying. Oh, we didn't want him. No, BS. A lot of Packers, especially their guys that are content creators, were saying they wanted Cooper DeJean, and I believe that was the truth. You look at their secondary outside of their top corner, they're not really that great. Saying their secondary, they can be had. So you look at their defense, good up front. Their linebackers struggle in coverage, and the back end of the secondary, outside of one side of the field, you can dominate the other side of the field with in their secondary. So they didn't get that much better on defense. I agree with the post.
What's up with Manu saying he's going to start at the right guard, while hearing Mahogany's legs aren't the same length, making him only a right guard? Does this mean that Sorsdale is heading back to right tackle? I think Sorsdale better produce a little bit better this year, in all honesty. I think this draft kind of put him a little bit on notice, in all honesty. I think that's where they want the right guard at. They're going to have a battle and see who's the backups. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. What does it mean for Sorsdale? Does he go to right tackle? I don't think so.
Yeah, Yodi outplayed him last year.
Yeah. I think he's in trouble. I think he better develop quicker than fast, because if he doesn't, he could be the odd man out. What do you think about this offensive line backup role, the Ant-Man? We know that this year we know what it's like, but next year could be a big transition.
So, again, this is where I have a little bit of a problem with the draft that we've had, because I love Hank Fraley. I love the job he's done here. He's one of the best O-line coaches in the league. The trouble is, one of the things he's not done is develop a day 3 pick for the line. Like, these guys are all first rounders, third rounders, high draft picks there. Our draft picks now, our draft depth on the line now consists of Sorsdal, who is a day 3 pick, who people are already starting to doubt, Manu, who is a CFL development level talent, and Mahogany, who I think is amazing, but if there are bigger problems with him here, that's our future. And right now, we've not developed a day 3 guy. And there's a lot of development for them to be done. I did want this to be the year where we put in a little bit more towards the line to guarantee its future. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I do trust them. But like you say, it's a big year for Sorsdal. We need to see the Sorsdal and Martin picks start to work this year. Yeah. Because then that will reinforce my belief that, maybe people might say we've reached this year, the talent's not good. We're going to be able to develop them. If they don't start developing in year 2, then you're looking at this year and you're thinking, are we going the same way here? Are we going to have some issues? So it's to be seen at this moment in time. I always said Sorsdal should have stayed at right. I don't like moving guys around on the line. Like, he's played right tackle, keep him at right tackle. For Mahogany, you can play him at both guard positions. There's no problems with Mahogany and his leg size. It doesn't matter. He is coming, and I can't stress this enough, from one of the finest offensive line systems in college football, who create the best guys with the best technique. It does not matter. He's going to be just fine.
Great pick.
For Manu, it just seems a very extreme change from left tackle to right guard at this point. That is going to take a lot of development. For a guy his size, I know he's shredded and everything, but it's all about your muscle memory playing on the other side of the line. You are teaching a CFL guy to play a completely different position to what he's used to. So that's going to lengthen his development process. Like, in 12 months, we could potentially have a lot of issues, depending on what's going on with Ragnow and his health, Taylor and his contract situation, Zeitler, etc. We could have 2-3 holes we need to fill quickly. Do I see it in the development guys we've got right now? No. Which means you're going to have to invest some of next year's high picks into offensive line when maybe you didn't have to. So just color me skeptical at the moment. Like, obviously, I like the guys. I like what they can be. I think Mahogany will be a part of this. But as for everyone else, we need to see them develop quicker. Otherwise, we're going to have an issue.
Definitely Brad Holmes we trust, 100%. But we'll always have a little bit worries, and I think that's okay. I think Brad Holmes is the best GM in football. That's my thing, but there's always a little bit worries, right? Like you said, we We got to make sure that offensive line is good for next year. And I agree. I think these guys got to develop. You're going to see a lot of them play in preseason.
So
Agnew,
Manu,
Sorsdale.
This was the big thing with me. It's like after the draft, I'm like, you see people trashing it and everything, and like people outside. I put a post like saying, Brad Holmes knows more than you, shut up. But then there's a lot of people replying to it, and there's a lot of people who are Lions fans now who they don't believe they now have an outlet to question any of these moves. And we've got to remember that we do need to try and be critical as well. We need to ask questions about some of these things. And like I say, the O-line question is a legitimate one. We've got 0 but day 3 guys there now, and we've not developed a single one. It is right to possibly be worried about that in the future. So I'm just trying to balance myself. I don't want to just say trust Brad all the time. I trust him all the time, but it's part of our thing we have to try and balance this out and make a reasoned debate out, because there are a lot of people out there who feel that you can't have this debate now. So I'm just trying to look at it from both sides.
Yeah, you definitely could be unbiased and kind of look for both sides. You could still say that Brad Holmes is the best GM in football, but to never even question anything, that's just, you can't do that. You should be, that goes for anybody and anybody. Like, that's just the way it is. Do you think Ennis Rakestraw Jr. will be good? For me personally, I'm worried about the size of him being able to cover big bodies. I'm not concerned about his size. I think he is going to be a stud. If we had got Rakestraw in the second round and got somebody else in the first round, I don't think a lot of people would even be questioning the Rakestraw pick, but it's because we got Terrion Arnold. I think that a lot of people are in there. I had Rakestraw in my mock draft, 3 of my mock drafts out of 5. I had him in there. He's a physical guy, likes to hit, great at tackling. He just seems like a Dan Campbell type of guy, but there's going to be development, and all these players are going to have rookie moments. I think we got to be patient with all of them. If they make a rookie mistake, they're not a bust. Okay. Right. Hutchinson was not a bust after year 1. Penei Sewell is not a bust after year 1. St. Brown is not a bust. So be patient, everybody. But
yeah. I don't worry about it. I mean, and you look at, and this is one of the reasons why the NFL, you can't come out after your 3rd year in school, because your body has to develop, and his body's going to develop. He's going to get bigger. They're going to put some size on him. They're going to put some muscle on him. I'm not saying he's going to, gain like 30 pounds or something like that, but they're going to put probably about 10 pounds of muscle on him. By the time he gets to the part where he's going to be developed as a starter, he's going to be a bigger guy by that time.
What about you and Rakestraw there, Ant-Man?
Oh, yeah.
Well, again, I've already made my point about this. I've been saying for the last 6 months that I like Abrams Drain more, so I can't just say it's a home run pick. But I do agree, if he adds frame to, I think he'll be fine over the long term. I just think one's higher IQ than the other, and will work out better in the long term. But for us, again, I think he's in a perfect position. We do not need Ennis Rakestraw to start day 1. Like Terrion Arnold's going to do that, and Carlton Davis is going to do that. So we can get him right then put him in. It's not going to be like a Cuda and we're going to throw him out there against Justin Jefferson day 1. We are going to take our time. And that's why I think the pick, when you're there, it makes more sense. You're like, right, I've got a starter out the draft. Now I've got a guy who could potentially be good. He's got some issues, but could potentially be good. And we can blood him in whilst we sort this out. Because again,